your research, deny it as much as you can. We are all Igbo people, IGBO, people of the ancient. They said, bring him, let us kill him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. How can he say such a thing? And now, I can't find it. And I want somebody to please try and resend it to me. The one I have here is not opening for some inexplicable reason. I do not know why it is not opening. And I want it to open because I want to play it. I want to play it for the whole world to hear. For mankind to understand that we are one people. They've been dividing us and carving us out into pieces. They come to Ebema, they carve Ebema into three. You ask the so-called elite, the so-called apex of the apex. How come you have Ebema in Delta? There is Ebema in Rivers, Ebema in Imo. Are they not the same people? Apex and the elite will not say anything. It's the organ vote. It's Igbo presidency. And they call themselves leaders. Umuokoko that grew old, they call themselves leaders. Umuokoko, they just grew old with gray hair, and you call yourselves leaders. Very, very sad indeed. We must see. I must try and play this. I must play it. Listen. I'm an Igbo. This is the Cross River State Governor. And I cannot thank him enough. Because what this man has done is to provide justification for everything we preach on this platform. That everything I say is true. Why would I come to lie to our people? I will never do that. Heaven will strike me dead. I can't do that. I'm playing the voice of the governor of Cross River State. Nna anyị wu ndị Igbo. As I told you, we are everywhere. The land of the ancients. We were divided. We became the way we were because our enemy, Britain, knew. Britain knew that the only way to weaken these children of God is by dividing them. As Satan did with Israel, Judea in the south, and the northern kingdom. Have you forgotten? Even at the time, the northern kingdom had a king, Judea had a king, and they were fighting themselves. And the Assyrians came and swallowed them. After that, the Babylonians came and destroyed them completely because they were divided. That was what Britain did. Britain divided us, and the Janjaweed, the Fulani, came now to drive it home. I want this video posted everywhere as a justification that everything we preach on Radio Biafra is true. When I say it, you may not believe it. It may sound strange. It will sound so strange that you will say, where that Nnamdi Kanu, where's it coming from? Is he mad? What? After a while, just a little while, just after a while, it becomes very clear. You see, a job is Igbo. A job, I-J-A-W-ism is Igbo. Is Igbo. Isoko is Igbo. Isekiri is Igbo. IGBO. If you don't know, let me tell you. Differences in language doesn't mean you're different people. And there's an experiment we have, it's COVID-19 that ruined a lot of things for us. I collected samples from every Biafran clan, every ethnic group in Biafra land. I gave it to a laboratory in the United States of America to do the gene mapping and to tell me if they're all one people or not. You don't know I did that? It's only COVID-19 that's messing everything up. You don't know how far we have gone. Wait till after COVID-19. It's gone. Let's just travel, resume normally. That view you see today, you will not see it anymore. We have something in store for them that they don't know about. Everybody that we claim is Biafra by blood, by genes, by the bone. If you went to one of those zoo universities where you go on strike for 4 years and graduate after 6 months of recycling rubbish, don't come to us. We'll decimate, because your level of thinking is not up to ours, so you can't comprehend what we're saying. I told you that we are all one people, and you are talking nonsense. He wants to take our land. He's coming to take land grab in Niger Delta. Rubbish. Nothing like Niger Delta. What is the meaning of Niger Delta? Let us listen to the governor of Cross River State. Listen attentively. Umuokoko, listen. Baby Sabo, listen. Elite Fulefu, listen very carefully. That is why the whole world listen to us. White people listen to this gospel more than blacks all over the world. You don't know, because we preach the truth uncompromisingly. Listen, please. We are Igbos, and when we left school, me and my friends, we are Igbos. Governor of Cross River State. Anybody who doubts anything they hear on this platform is a fool forever. We don't lie. The fact speaks for itself. But I remember what there's a way Barrister Mazi used to say it is it raps equally a bit. I don't know what he used to say. When he says the fact speaks for itself. Now you understand it, don't you? Niger Delta, Delta Niger, Upper Delta, Bendel, South, and I'm calling you useless people without brain. You think I'll come here to preach what I don't know? Is that what you're thinking? Is that what you think? I preach the gospel of heaven. Heaven gives me a message and gives to the living. You think I'll come here and I'll say what I don't know? I thank the governor for finding it in himself to come up to speak the truth that the world may know, and the devil will be covered with shame. I love what this Yoruba group have said, I must say, because now people have now discovered who they are. We have preached on this platform so many times. Don't allow Yoruba Muslims to deceive you. And now this group has come up. What is their name again? The Yoruba Muslims have been the weakest link within the ethnic nation because of the habitual affliction. This is actually a statement from a Yoruba group, and I'll read it very carefully, please, and I'll try and round it up as quickly as possible. A new Yoruba Muslim group, YOMPEC, YOMPEC, vows to work with OPC, Yoruba World Congress, Akoya, and others to fight for self-determination. This is what I love about them. Yoruba Muslim group. Let me tell you what I've said. The Yoruba ethnic nationality is gradually but steadily pulling its components together in preparation for the final push for self-determination. The Yoruba Muslims have been the weakest link within the ethnic nation because of the habitual affiliation of this segment of the populace with their fellow Muslims controlling the Sokoto Caliphate in the far north. Spillover in the realm of politics has produced MK Abiola, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Both are Muslim Yoruba who have provided veritable conduits for the Fulani hegemonic influence to be felt so acutely in Yoruba land in recent decades and era. Throughout the era of military rule, the Northwest Alliance seems to have come naturally because, as I told you before, everything I tell you is the truth. I was telling you before that the weak link in Yoruba land are the Muslims. I've told you that before. And now, it is coming from the mouth of Yoruba people as well. So why would any sensible person doubt what we preach on this platform? I was saying it before. If I don't preach, I said I will say it. Of course, it's the truth. Once it's the truth, I will preach it. I told you that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is one of those people. The reason why they brought out MK Abiola was because he was a Muslim. People would then say, how about Obasanjo? Obasanjo came about because Obasanjo was the loyal servant of the Caliphate. Obasanjo voted for Shagari. That was his enmity between, that's the basis of the enmity between himself and Awolowo. Awolowo got the polling, is it the returning officer, whatever they call him, the polling station of where in Ota when Obasanjo voted in 1979. And they wanted to know who Obasanjo voted for. Obasanjo voted for Shagari. Go and ask Obasanjo and he will tell you. So we have always known that the weakest link in Yoruba land are the Muslims. Now, rather than coming out to castigate Nnamdi Kanu for saying it all the time, why is he saying this? They have now gone and had a rethink. They have weighed what we told them and they've seen it's the truth. And now they have come out in full force. That, in a nutshell, the young Yoruba Muslim values the kinship with his fellow Yoruba man and other adherents of Islam from northern Nigeria, and they are determined to show their new mindset by joining the self-determination quest for an independent Oduduwa nation. This is a big deal because Muslim values the kinship with his fellow Yoruba man and other adherents of Islam from northern Nigeria, and they are determined to show their new mindset by joining the self-determination quest for an independent Oduduwa nation. This is a big deal because
A country that was opposed to our liberation, a country that supported colonial regimes, the apartheid regime in South Africa, the white racist minority regime in Zimbabwe, now Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, the Portuguese colonial governments in Mozambique, in Angola, in Guinea-Bissau, and Cape Verde, today is coming to Africa to teach us about democracy. A country that has toppled so many governments in Africa, that has led so many coups in Africa and other parts of the world, a country that has killed so many of our leaders in Africa and other parts of the world, the killers of Patrice Lumumba, those who toppled Kwame Nkrumah, those who killed Nasser, those who killed Muammar Gaddafi, today are coming to teach us about democracy. A country that has been built on brutal force, on enslavement of other human beings, on the humiliation of Africans, the exploitation of Africans, the plunder of Africa, today is coming to teach us about democracy. That's the arrogance, the imperialist arrogance, the racist arrogance that we are subjected to. We cannot have democracy where there is hegemony of the strongest, mightiest imperialist power. We cannot have democracy where a country's resources, a country's decisions are dictated to by another country. A country that is dominated by another country cannot be democratic. A country that lacks sovereignty cannot be democratic. A people that cannot decide for themselves cannot be democratic. A colony, a neo-colony cannot be democratic. That's why today, even at the United Nations, membership is on the basis of sovereignty. Only sovereign nations can be members of the United Nations, because only sovereign nations can decide for themselves. A colony cannot be a member of the United Nations. It's not by accident. It's not a mistake. If you have no respect for the dignity of others, if you have no respect for the sovereignty of other countries, you cannot claim to be a champion of democracy. They used to say, all roads lead to Rome. Today we can confidently say, all roads to progress leads to Beijing. This is a country, this is a people that has developed themselves, that has developed itself without colonizing any country in the world, without plundering any country in the world, without subjugating any people in the world. This is a country that is developing with maximum respect for others, for their history, for their cultures, and recognizes the diversity that is there in civilization. We were only taught one form of civilization, one form of modernization. That was the Western way. Westernness was a measure of how civilized, how modern you are. We reject that. We reject it because it's not correct. We reject it because it's undemocratic. We reject it because it's uncivilized to think of the world and of other people in that way. Today they cannot accept the fact that China has caught up with them. China is about to surpass them in many areas of human endeavor. The imperialist arrogance is inhibiting them from accepting that is reality. The racist arrogance is inhibiting them from accepting that reality. But the world is changing. The changes we are witnessing today, as President Xi said in Moscow recently, or the other day, they have never been seen in 100 years. They have shaped a world that they themselves today are scared of. And they have shaped a world that is not sustainable. Democracy, human development is not sustainable on the basis of plunder, on the basis of enslavement, on the basis of humiliating other people every day. That is a system we are seeing today, a system that will not survive if plunder is eliminated, if subjugation of other peoples, other nations is eliminated, if inequality in the world is eliminated. That system will disappear. The only system that you can survive and can endure for long is a system that is based on mutual benefit, win-win relationships, mutual respect for others, accommodation and tolerance of others, and fraternal love for all humanity. This is what we find in China today. This is what China's example is showing us. Indeed, all paths are different. There's no path that is the same, even if they are leading to the same destination. Each path has
Chukwu okike abịama, Chukwu na-afụ na ife afụ na nzuzo, Chukwu maara onye aka ya dị ọcha na onye obi ya dị ọcha. Nwoke si na ya ji ọfọ, nwaanyị si na ya ji ọfọ, mana ọfọ maara onye ji ya. Ụkpaka na-agba n'udo mmiri ọ chụrụ ọzụọ. Gaa n'ogbe o mechi ụzọ osi mpịara na azụ nwa igirigo ọgụ nke mmụọ. Ọ gịnị ka m ga-etu gị ka o zuolo gị? Asị m n'oge akara aka eluo, ịbụ mmụọ ka mmụọ, ibe ka ibe. Chukwu okike onye obiọma sị m unu binye n'oge akara aka eluo. Mmụọ niile na-ejere ozi asị m unu binye n'oge akara aka eluo. Oke mmụọ, oke mmụọ, oke mmụọ, oke mmụọ, oke mmụọ, oke mmụọ. Mmụọ niile na-ejere ozi asị m unu binye elu. Tetenụ n'ụra, tetenụ n'ụra, tetenụ n'ụra, tetenụ n'ụra. Ọsọ eme nte eme ime, ọsọ m nọ ya nọ n'etiti ụlọ taa. Ọsọ unu binye elu n'oge akara aka eluo. Mmụọ nna nna anyị ochie asị m gị binye. Mmụọ na-afụ na ife afụ na nzuzo asị m gị binye. Ofe ọfọ ji eji ọgụ asị m unu binye. Ọfọ ndị Igbo niile asị m gị binye. Ọfọ ndị mmiri asị m gị binye. Ọfọ ndị ikuku asị m gị binye. Eze nwaanyị osimiri asị m gị binye. Eze nwaanyị nwanyị na-ebe asị m gị binye. Eze nwaanyị idodi igwu na-eme asị m gị binye. Eze nwaanyị amambara asị m gị binye. Eze nwaanyị osimiri ga-aba asị m gị binye. Eze nwaanyị ala Igbo niile asị m gị binye. Eze nwaanyị a n'ike wawa asị m gị binye. Oke arụsị na n'ike o juru nwaanyị aga anị asị m gị binye n'oge akara aka eluo. Igirigi ọgụ mmụọ. Asị m na gboo dike mbọsị ihe ike mere ọ ga-achọkwa nwa dike. Asị m gị ododo unu binye unu bịa tara ọjị na chichiri eji efụla. Asị m unu binye unu bịa tara ọjị na chichiri eji efụla. Nna dị ndụ. Mmụọ niile nwụrụ anwụ ka ụmụ Igbo dị ndụ. Mmụọ niile nwụrụ anwụ ka Mazi Nnamdi Kanu dị ndụ. Mmụọ niile nwụrụ anwụ ka ụmụ Biafra dị ndụ. Asị m unu binye n'oge akara aka eluo. Asị m na gboo dike mbọsị ihe ike mere ọ ga-achọ nwa dike. Ọ sị na mberede nyiri dike na mberede ka o ji ama nwa dike. Ọ ya ka m ji ọha dike bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Ya bụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Otu mkpụrụ anya ji isi ụgwọ. Otu ọnụ na mmiri na-agba n'oge nke ya. Asị m unu binye n'isi ya. Nye ogologo ndụ na-arụ isi ike. Napụta ya na Eke, napụta ya na Orie, napụta ya na Afọ, napụta ya na Nkwọ. Asị m na ahịa akara aka anaghị eri nwa ngwụrọ, na ahịa akara aka agaghị eri Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Asị m unu gaa napụta Nnamdi Kanu na Eke, napụta ya na Orie, napụta ya na Afọ, napụta ya na Nkwọ. Asị m mee ka ọnụ niile kwụrụ njọ n'isi atụgharịa kwụ mma. Ka ọnụ kọrọ ogiri ọnụ kọrọ ogiri lacha. Chukwu okike abịama, onye jiri mmiri siri ike kpọọ aja were aja siri ike kpọọ mmadụ. Asị m na taata bụ ụbọchị Eke n'ala Igbo. Asị m na Eke ga-eketara Nnamdi Kanu ndụ. Eke ga-eketara ya nwere onwe. Oke ga-eketara ya ndụ. Oke ga-eketara ya Biafra. Oke ga-eketara ya nwere onwe. Oke ga-ekegburu ya ndị iro, kegburu ya ajọ mmadụ na ajọ mmụọ. Asị m na mbọsọ ọ ga-apụta ekwensu ga-anọ n'ụra, ndị ilo ya ga-anọ n'ụla. Ọkwa na ekwe osu. Asị m gịnị bụ ekwe osu? Asị m na mbọsọ ọ ga-apụta ya bụ ndị ilo ga-anọ n'ụra. Ọha bụ ndị ọha nwa bụ ekwesu. Asị m na ha ncha ga-anọ n'ụra. Na Nnamdi Kanu ga-apụta n'ike na ebube. Nnamdi Kanu ga-apụta n'ike na ebube. Asị m na ọnụ kwụrụ njọ n'isi ya ga-atụgharịkwọ mma. Asị m ọ bịara igbu Nnamdi Kanu bụ onwe ya. Onye si na Nnamdi Kanu agaghị adị ndụ, onye a ga-eji anazere mmiri. Onye si na Nnamdi Kanu agaghị apụta, onye a ga-eji anazere mmiri. Ọnụ niile kọrọ ogiri ọnụ ga-akọrọ ogiri lacha. Osisi abụla oturu ga-emeche wee kwele. Onye asị na Nnamdi Kanu agaghị apụta, asị m na ọnụ ahụ iji wee kwuo ya na ike ejikwa ya wee kwugharịa mma n'isi ya. Asị m na ebe onye ahụ na-atụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu aka, asị m aka gị ga-akpọnwụ. Osisi ahụ fụrụ Nnamdi Kanu wee tọọ nkwe, asị m ikuku futuo gị. Anya ọbụla fụrụ Nnamdi Kanu kwawa akwa alịla, asị m alịla akọrọ ya n'anya. Onye fụrụ Nnamdi Kanu cheta ihe gburu nwa maka na ọ bụrụ ya gburu nwa gị. Chukwu okike abịa ama asị m na mbelede nyere dike mbelede ka o ji amawa dike asị m na okirikiri ka a na-agba ukwu ose ọ dadị ukwu ose enu na okirikiri ka ndị iro ga-agba Nnamdi Kanu mana ha ama mkpata ya aka ọ sị na nkirikiri ka ọ na-ekiri odido jiri odido enyi ozu na ọkwanụ nkirikiri ka ndị iro ga na-ekiri ya mana ha ama mfụ ya anya asị m na eje anaba isi ije asị na Nnamdi Kanu ga-eje na ọ ga-ana asị m na inye anaghị eri ọba maka na inye na ọba bụ nwanne inye agaghị eri Nnamdi Kanu maka na ọ bụ nwi asị na Nnamdi Kanu ga-adị ka echi anaghị agwụ agwụ maka na ije ejere bụ ije mmiri ọ bụla eje nkụ asị na ya bụ ije ga-abụ ije mmiri asị m na ọ ga-anata n'udo asị m na ọ ga-abata sirili welere asị m na unu ga-aga kpọnatara anyị Nnamdi Kanu asị m unu ga-akpọnatara anyị Nnamdi Kanu ga-akpọnatara anyị Nnamdi Kanu ga tụnye ugo ga nye ya mmeri ga nye ya mmeri ga nye ya mmeri tụnye ugo n'elu ugo nye ike n'elu ike nye ya ndụ n'elu ndụ ọkwanụ ndụ ka o ji efu na efufe unu nye Nnamdi Kanu ndụ onwe ike wee kwụrụ jinjin onwe ike wee kwụrụ wee fuo na ofufe a sị na ya kara ka anaghị eri nwa ngwụrọ ihe mere ha ji jide Nnamdi Kanu bụ ka nwee ike wee megide ndị Igbo ka nwee ike megide ụmụ Biafra ka nwee ike wee kwuchi anyị ọnụ ka ha nwee ike wee kachi anyị ọnụ ka anyị ghara ikwu okwu ọzọ mana ama m na dododo Chukwu okike abịa ma ndị nwa na ndị nwe mmiri ndị nwe ikuku ndị nwe anyanwụ mmụọ nna nna anyị ochie mmụọ niile nwụrụ anwụ ka anyị dị ndụ mmụọ niile ọ kwafọrọ ọbara ha n'ike maka ihi Biafra asị m unu binyenu asị m unu dododo na ọkwa na unu bụ ihe nwe ike a ọkwa na unu ga-eji ọgụ mmụọ ọkwa na unu ga-aga buori ahịa ọkwa na unu ga-aga napụta ya maka na ihe ọ tinyere unu n'aka anaghị ele ule asị m dododo igiriga ọgụ mmụọ eze nwaanyị niile nọ n'ala Igbo mmụọ niile nọ n'ala Igbo asị m unu binye maka na onwe onye nọ n'ụwa na-anaghị aṅụ mmiri onwe onye nọ n'ụwa na-anaghị eri nnu bụ ihe ụtọ si na mmiri wee pụta onye ọbụla na-eri ihe na-eri ihe dị na mmiri onye na-asa arụ ji mmiri asa arụ onye ọbụla na-eme ihe ọbụla ọ na-eme ji mmiri eme ya asị m ihe ọbụla mmadụ na-eme n'ụwa mmiri ọ na-ebubu ụzọ asị m onye ọbụla kpọrọ mmiri asị na mmiri a ga-agbagbu ya asị m onye ọbụla fụrụ mmiri n'anya ga-afụ Nnamdi Kanu n'anya onye ọbụla fụrụ mmiri n'anya ga-afụ Nnamdi Kanu n'anya onye ọbụla mmiri na-awụsa n'arụ ga-afụ Nnamdi Kanu n'anya onye ọbụla mmiri na-emesa n'arụ ga-afụ Nnamdi Kanu n'anya onye na-aṅụ mmiri na-eli nnu asị m na ọnụ anyị ji wee lie nnu wee ṅụọ mmiri na ị ga-eji akwa okwu ọma n'isi Nnamdi Kanu n'aha Chukwu okike abịa ama
ise. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Chinedu from Olu province of Biafra land. We are here live and direct, and today is the 30th day of March 2023. Tatabo Bochiorie. Therefore, I welcome each and every one of you to welcome your friends and well-wishers. Even do not deny your enemies listening to this hallowed platform. Today is the 30th day of March 2023, being Thursday. Therefore, we are live and direct. This is where we worship, because Biafra is our religion. Therefore, do not waste time to gather onto this hallowed platform in order to listen to the gospel of emancipation, the gospel of disintoxication from Nigeria, Niger area, the gospel of liberation. As I'm talking to you, my voice is being heard in most places in Biafra land. And I think Abia North will be speaking shortly, if not on air already. You know, the other day somebody called me from Aba that he's not listening, he's not hearing from FM in Aba. And I say he is wrong. Tune in Aba, my voice is yelling. That's why I want people from Aba to call and confirm, please. Later when the lines are opened. Or you can even inbox me from Aba. I mean from Aba. Inbox me and tell me that you are hearing my voice. You are listening to Radio Biafra through 102.1 CHK. We must continue. You can also hear our voice, listen to Radio Biafra London via satellite. and through many options in the internet. We have our application IPOB Community Radio. Is a low data consuming app for the wider Nigeria. For every other place in the world, is a very low data consuming application. Is there on Play Store. Radio, you will see it. And once you download it, bingo, you are good to go. You'll be listening to our voice. Also, we have Radio Biafra London as an application. You can also listen to us through TuneIn. You can download TuneIn or Simple Radio, any of these platforms. Go to Facebook. You'll be how can I listen to Radio Biafra London? And you will be hearing our voice through different platforms. Many people are streaming our voices once we are on air. Also, we have Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE on Facebook. Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE. You can be listening through there also. Many other multiple channels of listening to our voices, please. Therefore, you have no excuse not to listen to this gospel of freedom initiated by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We will continue preaching this gospel. It doesn't matter what happens. We continue preaching. And our leader is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is still in the enemy dungeon, in the Nigeria DSS dungeon, illegally. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was illegally renditioned from Kenya. And on the 13th day of October 2022, yes, on the 13th of October 2022, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was liberated, or a verdict of discharged and acquitted was ruled on his behalf by the Nigerian Court of Appeal. Up to date, he is still in the enemy dungeon. And you ask yourself why? Because Nigeria is a banana republic, a country that doesn't even obey their own courts, a country that does not, obey their law. They don't listen to the courts. Therefore, what a country is that? It's a means of people looting, nothing more. Nigeria is no man's business. That is why you don't have even ordinary electricity in this 21st century. Electricity you don't have in Nigeria. The same story, the same campaign promises that we have been hearing before even we are born. I will build roads, I will put light, I will, primary things that supposed not to be election promises is still what is going on today. But none has been achieved. The same deception. Therefore, for you to understand the type of country Nigeria is, that's it. As I said, in Aba, you can hear our voice through FM 102.1. You understand? In Aba. So, I know that people can inbox me in order to confirm that we are Mazi. We are listening to you through CHK 102.1 in Aba. Because our brother that called the other day, maybe he never knew. Even that day I was a bit confused, because that's why I couldn't give a straightforward reply. Because I know he has been there. But we will continue. Therefore, once again, I welcome each and every one of you to welcome your friends and well-wishers onto this hallowed platform. because this is where we worship. This is where we worship. Our rallying point. Remember, our leader has been here. He was here calling, lone voice in the wilderness, shouting, until we started gathering little by little in this hallowed platform. Therefore, this is the alma mater, and we will never stop. So, as I was saying, the whole Abba is on. Abba, all Abba, on FM. Tune in. You know, some people might be using a radio that doesn't have up to that 102.1 megahertz. You understand? So they will tell you we are not listening. Ask before you buy any small radio or even phone, you check whether it has up to 102.1 megahertz. That's it. Because when you buy maybe a radio that stopped at 90 or 80 something, you cannot get it. There is no way you can get it. So please, do not deny yourself listening to this hallowed platform. Biafra is our religion. Before I go to the main subject of my submission today, normally, as I said, I have listened to taken the advice of many of our people that I should be always brief so that people will be able to digest. Because when you heap issues, different things, many of our people become confused. Sometimes you start seeing what we call the law of diminishing return. You enter, you go out. Garbage in, garbage out. So that's why I try to be as brief as I could. There are some just news headlines. Very few. You know, this Kamala Harris, the deputy American president, he was in Africa. He went to Ghana. You know what they are promoting? What she is promoting? The right of LGBT. That is homosexuals. That is the only thing that matters to them. You know, sometimes when I look at it, but I'm happy that one member of parliament, Ghanaian member of parliament, told him truth, direct, vomited everything on his face. That we know how to run our lives. You know, the gift, let me tell you, the gift of all these people, mostly Western gifts. You know, when you talk about the West, because these are the people that has been on top of us. The Europeans, they took us as slaves. After the Arabs did it, trans-Saharan slavery, African slavery. It was started by the Arabs, for your information. The Arabs did it in a very heavy way, heinous way. But the most recent, because the Arabs slavery or trans-Saharan slavery, it precedes that of Europe. So we Biafrans, we always talk about the European slavery because I think we didn't suffer mostly on the Arab transatlantic, trans-Saharan slavery. We Biafrans didn't suffer about it because we live in equatorial forests, more south, which could not be reached by neither by their Fulani accomplice. Let me tell you, the Fulani. Do you know why Fulani is being cherished by the Europeans? It's not about today. It started long time. They have been the people that we are facilitating transatlantic slavery. They go in, they capture people in the name of, they say they are fighting jihad, though. They capture people, they come, they make money. For your information, the first set of Africans being captured were by Portuguese. I think in the 15th century. The first, I think they were 10 people. The Portuguese, before that time, they have been coming to Africa, Portuguese merchants, doing business. For people that think that we didn't have anything, our ancestors didn't know anything, no. It's miseducation, misinformation. Before slavery started, the Portuguese, they have been doing business with our people, with Africans. Now, at that fateful time, the Portuguese merchants, they came to Mauritania. Now, after buying what they had to buy, one captain, he said, no, let us try one thing. Let them venture inside the beach. Let them stroll inside and see what happens, because so that they can be able to maybe start another business. I am telling you the origin of transatlantic slavery. They went and captured some black people, about 10 of them, from Mauritania. And I believe these people, they might be Fulanese. I'm telling you historical facts. I'm not sure about their ethnicity, whether they are Berbers or they are what I believe is a belief, not being sure, that they might be Fulanese. Now they took these people, 10 of them, down to Portugal under captivity. Do you know what happened? These people started begging for their lives in Portugal from the captain and the kings. When the man presented his trophy, new trophy, that this thing they could start buying. You know, before that time, Portugal was the highest adventurers. Portuguese. So they presented everything to the king in order to give order, in order to legitimize everything. Now these people begged for their lives and said, look, if you help us, you take us back to Mauritania, we are going to help you to capture other people. Listen, they didn't say no, we are all stop. We are going to help you capture other of our brothers. And they signed the agreement, treaty, with the then king. I said, okay, we are going to they told them, we are going to carry you people, but you will become those people. They told them, we work together, we become your agents. Only you give us protection. Now we will help you to capture more of our people. And the thing sounded good. It sounded good to the Portuguese authority. They say, okay. The next ship, all of them, they brought them back to Mauritania. And do you know what? These people maintained their word. They started helping Portuguese to capture others. And I think the first was 100 people they captured. And now Portugal started giving them protection, arming them to go and do more against their own people. You see that? When this thing was going on at that early time, in order for the king of Portugal, for Portugal to gain legitimacy in the new business they have found out in Africa, let me tell you, they seek for legitimacy, because that time the all-powerful was the Pope. He was the chief priest of the whole Europe. So he is the king maker, or he was the king maker. Pope you are hearing today, Papa they call it in Italian, Pope. He was the king maker. So in order not to be termed as doing something illegal, the Portuguese now, what they did, they seeked legitimacy from Pope. Why all this squeaking noise? I don't know. Sometimes. Now, that time it was Pope Nicholas V. You know, Pontifex Maximus, that is the real name, Italian, the original name of the Pope, the chief priest, above every king, for you to understand. Now, the king, Pope Nicholas, who you call Saint today, or Saint Nicholas, you know, I know this thing for you to understand the origins of something you are holding so dear. You know, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started this struggle by telling us about Nigeria, historical facts about Nigeria that many of us didn't know, and he come to Biafra telling us about Biafra, historical facts and things that we don't know, many of us didn't know. You understand? So that is why we must dabble into the historical facts of the religion you are in. So Pope Nicholas V, after seeing that bringing slaves from Africa, he can help them as slaves. After all, it's okayed in the Bible. What they brought, slaves, you must obey your masters, even if it's harsh. If you want, let him kill you, you must obey. Because if you are obeying your master, your slave master, which means you're obeying God. Sometimes you think, you should think. Pope Nicholas V issued what they call the papal bull. It's just like a decree from the highest office in this world at that medieval time, that yes, it is now lawful, designated by God, that Europeans, all these Christian Europeans, you have the right to enslave Africans and Saracens, they call them, that is Arabs. You have the right to enslave them, take over their possession, take their land forever. You can slaughter them at will. He made it clear. A pope. You know, people don't understand the source of anger of some people against what they brought to us to subjugate us. People don't understand. Oh, do you see the way they follow me now? I think they love you now. Islamization, you should call it love. Oh, they love us, Islamize us. If they successfully Islamize Biafrans, they will subjugate us, put us under their feet through their religion. I am assuring you that in the next 100 years, you will see Biafrans that will be defending with their life. That these people brought God to them. Fulanis are the men of the real children of God. They brought God to them. That before, their ancestors didn't know anything. In the next 100 years, you'll be hearing it. The same way the Hausas are professing today, respecting the Fulanis, that they brought Islam to them, they brought God to them, which is lie. Do you see the danger? Because Njoba Aro Obruzio Menala. You understand? So after that papal bull, every European now, Dick and Harry, Portuguese, England, English people entered. It became competition. French, Spanish, all of them vying for who captures the most slave. That was the start of problems in Africa. The problem we are suffering till today, since more than 500, 600 years back. If you understand me. And the clip I played, the man said, I think it's Mozambique. The man said, how can people that enslaved us, people that have no respect for our way of life, they came, they demonized everything concerning us, slaughtered us. King Leopold the second, he killed more than 15 million Congolese in order to turn them to give them to Christ. He slaughtered for fun. How can these people now be turning around, coming to us to teach us democracy? Do you see the hypocrisy of the West? Do you see why we cry? We are a people that have been humiliated. We are a people that have been subjugated, people that have been enslaved. Yet they are coming to teach us that they are more pious, more righteous than us. It's annoying. Honestly, it's annoying. It's annoying. You know, it's annoying. But the world is changing anyway, and we need to change with the world. That is human evolution. Therefore, this the American deputy president, vice president, he came to Africa in order to push everybody to the way they are doing things. That are people that have been dying, being killed in Biafra land. People are the so-called elections are shambolic in Nigeria. No human rights, no justice. People are dying of hunger, of government which they instituted. They don't talk about it. All their first priority is legalize LGBT. It's very, sometimes it's sad. I'm telling you, it's sad. When people, all they care for is to push you the way they want you to be, and they leave you there in the quagmire. Continue fighting forever with the rubbish they put you into. Now they will be triumphing over you. Now, before I go to my subject matter, which is intelligence, that's what I'm going to talk about today. Just intelligence. I want to talk about this what do you call it, government in exile, that some set of people brought themselves and say, oh, government in exile. Well, come on. I want to talk about it as my preamble. There is a new press release I want to read before that, please. Because in a freedom fighting like this, we continue fighting. Because many things are bringing up, popping their, you know, there is a game that a video game, whether Tetris or something like that, something will pop up and you fire it. Before you know, another thing will pop up. That is what we are doing. Because things are popping up. This one come, he give order, Mr. Sit at home. Now he's now Mr. Sit at home. For you to understand that this is purely, these are people sent for a job, dirty job, to just bastardize everything, to make what we are doing look childish. Do you understand? Let me tell you what the British intelligence wants to do. They want to promote all these non-entities, charlatans, promote them to give us, to rubbish what we are doing now, promote these infiltrators to impose on us. Because you know, the Europeans, they are fond of imposing on Africans their own will. As I talk about slavery today, it's like that. They have to impose on you, on us, their will. Do you understand? That is who they are. Not even in us in Africa. When you go to the Americas, United States, we are imposing presidents on Americas. Just for their interest, not for the interest of the population, not for the interest of the people. In Chile, in Nicaragua, in different parts of Southern America, Venezuela, all of them, Colombia, they impose. So this is what they are trying to do. That is why they always promote. I saw in a Sahara Reporter, IPOB imposes it at home in Lagos. Do you see what they are doing? They are trying to promote and impose somebody on us. You know, their agents, they now promote him and impose it on us. That is why all this media and if he just a mess, they will write it. so that he continue being promoted. Before you know, people will start forgetting the mainstream IPOB, start forgetting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that he's still in jail. Do you see their way? We understand their system. We understand their system. So that if they see that you have forgotten Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a bit, they can harm him. And nothing will happen. Because nobody again, some now so east, some now go west. So no more synergy. Let me read this press release, please. Let me read it before I say what I want to say. Press release, we did not, I think of 30 today. We did not issue any sit-at-home order in Lagos, IPOB. The attention of the global movement and family of the indigenous people of Biafra under the command and leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been drawn to the laughable and disgraceful statement making rounds in the zoo that the noble movement of IPOB issued a sit-at-home order in Lagos State. The statement is false, laughable, and coming from the quarters of blackmailers to disparage IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. IPOB has never issued any sit-at-home order outside Biafra land. Anyone issuing any sit-at-home orders in Biafra or in Lagos is on his or her own, and not doing so on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu nor of IPOB. Therefore, IPOB publicly disassociates ourselves from any purported sit-at-home call in Lagos or anywhere in Nigeria, including Biafra land. At this time, any day IPOB issues a sit-at-home order, the reasons for the sit-at-home will be made public, and it will be observed only in Biafra region and any other regions that may like to join. We are aware that Yoruba politicians are using political thugs and criminals to attack Ndibo in Lagos, but they will regret their actions soon. Ndibo in Lagos should know that IPOB is not looking for popularity, but only interested in protecting all Biafrans irrespective of their location in the world until Biafra is restored and beyond. IPOB has no faction, let alone have a factional leader. The chief infiltrator in Finland has been ignored by Biafrans in his mindless sit-at-home in the east. Perhaps he thinks Ndibo in Lagos will be so daft to obey his sit-at-home order in Lagos. We know our people are wise. The leader of IPOB is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is currently illegally detained in DSS solitary confinement in Abuja, and those piloting IPOB struggle in his absence are the DOS members, headed by Mazi Chinedu. Therefore, Nigeria government and their compromised media calling a double agent in Finland an IPOB leader is idiotic and therefore dead on arrival. From today onwards, any media outfit in Nigeria, whether print media, online news, or others anywhere in the world that makes the mistake of tagging Simon Ekpa and Autopilot as IPOB members or Mazi Nnamdi Kanu disciple again must be ready to meet us in the law courts. Enough is enough. We have made it open to all media groups to stop linking Simon Ekpa and his cohorts and Autopilot groups to the IPOB movement and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We are now prepared to take the bull by the horn. The media must call Simon Ekpa and Autopilot group to what they did and not connect their actions to IPOB. IPOB is a separate movement led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Simon Ekpa or Autopilot group are on their own. We are not the same people. We are a peaceful movement seeking the freedom of Biafra through a United Nations supervised referendum. We use this medium to ask the public, and particularly Ndibo in Lagos, to ignore and disregard this falsehood because IPOB did not order a sit-at-home in Lagos. Firstly, the Finland-based double agent in question is not an IPOB member. A word is sufficient for the wise. Comrade Emma Powerful, Media and Publicity Secretary for the Indigenous People of Biafra. You have seen it. This is what they do. Do you remember 2015? When our leader was first arrested in Lagos, Do you remember tripod? There is that Yoruba, I think it's from either Sahara Reporters also, or this their media. They started creating tripod, quadrupod, double pod, centripod. Is this the end of that? I will check for this video where one, I think Isoko Biafran in the streets of Lagos started lecturing that boy. When they are saying, could this be the end of IPOB because they have been balkanized into pieces, into tripod, into... You see it? This is... the people should understand that what they want is division of IPOB. That the same old system, divide and conquer, that is what they are doing. Once they polarize, polarization is all they want, so that they can be promoting somebody against our will. They will be promoting somebody. Autopilot is IPOB. That people that are paying. Remember, Mazi Sanwo-Olu made it clear here. Whenever that idiot, whenever he comes on A, if he mentioned autopilot that he didn't put IPOB, the following day, the following time he will be on A. You just watch. He will now start shouting autopilot, IPOB, because his handlers call him and warn him. Once you mention autopilot, put IPOB, we know the reason. Continue like that. You are not separate. Gum IPOB into it, so that they will have a proof in order to be given all this global, useless global terrorism index, GTI, and other people will be, the media, the Nigerian mainstream media now will be gumming all their activities to IPOB. We know all their plans, we know. So there is no sit at home anywhere. He has already called himself, and now the question I used to ask: why, if you are fighting for Biafra, why use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu name? Why use as you can do it? Why not use your own movement? Why are you using IPOB? Create your own movement. After all, Wazike has his own masop. And when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was disillusioned, saw that it's no more the right way he wanted, he created his own. That is IPOB. We are in together today. Be a man, create your own, remove IPOB from it. Anything that happens, you take responsibility. That is how things happen. Not gumming IPOB. Oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is our leader. No, you cannot work. You and your paymasters, it can never work. We understand the games of Britain. You see others also calling. We are government in the exile. Government in exile. What is government in exile? Do not associate anything with IPOB, please. Answer your own name. Continue your fight. If you answer your own name, don't associate IPOB. We will never mention you. Continue whatever you are doing. Anything that happens, take responsibility. You will not see us attacking you or doing anything. Just continue your own thing. That is how that is how it should be. But when you come with we are IPOB government in exile, why IPOB? Let me tell people for your information. Government in exile is a political group that claims to be a country or semi-sovereign state's legitimate government. For your information, they are there for power, just like a group of people that they have elected themselves and say, okay, we are the government now, but we are in exile. It's not what IPOB is fighting. IPOB is not dragging for power. We are a freedom fighting outfit because we are not free. Once we become free, now it is left for Biafrans to, discuss and decide which type of government they are going to run on, and who becomes the head of the government. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu even said, if Biafra comes, he will just retire. He will not even vie for any political position. Have you forgotten? But these people now, they come, we are government in exile. Mentioning IPOB name there. That is what I want you to understand. That this government in exile is, they It is a political group that claims to be a country or semi-sovereign state's legitimate government. But we have no country yet. We are fighting to liberate ourselves. You understand? So this group, this political group, is unable to exercise legal power and instead resides in a foreign country. It is like establishing a ruling class outside the country. Remember, a government is the group of people with the authority to govern a country or state. So these people claiming their government in exile, how come all of they are vying for power? A group of people mandated to govern a country. So who mandate you? Who mandate you to govern who? We are fighting for freedom. IPOB is a freedom fighting movement in order to restore Biafra. Now when Biafra comes, it is for Biafrans to elect who governs them. No person will come and impose on, oh, we have been a government in exile, so after restoration of Biafra, now everybody impose on you, we are the government. No, and no. That is what these people are trying to do, for your information. And I see it as ignorance in the highest order. Ignorance. The way we are as a people, we are under occupation, Nigeria occupation, because we see that Nigeria cannot work. So we are trying to restore back our land. Once the job is done, you can be a great freedom fighter, but you might not make the best government or the best president. Do you understand? That was the reason why the Prime Minister of United Kingdom, what is the name again? During the Second World War, he fought gallantly. Winston Churchill, yes. Winston Churchill fought gallantly during the Second World War. He was a man of war. You understand? He was a man of war. During the Second World War, he fought, and he came out victorious with England. But after the war, now there was an election in England. Just hold on, please. Hold on, please. I'm regulating something. So, okay. Now, as I was saying, let me go back. I was talking about Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill fought Hitler in England. And Winston Churchill was campaigning with his war prowess